Hi, I'm Donna Dewberry, the original creator of the FolkArt one-stroke painting technique. Welcome to the Let's Paint Studio right here at Plaid. Learning to paint has never been as easy as when I teach you how to load a brush with multiple colors where you can blend, shade, and highlight with one stroke of the brush. Our new program with Let's Paint FolkArt One Stroke this year is going to be all about learning how to paint 50 different types of flowers. And as you can imagine, 50 flowers makes the possibility endless to be able to paint floral designs. I'm thrilled that you've chosen to join me on this one-stroke journey. So let's paint. Today we're going to paint a poppy, and we're going to be using our reusable teaching guide along with our FolkArt multi-surface paint. The colors in the multi-surface are apple red, licorice, and moon yellow, and on the leaves we're using wicker white, citrus green, and sap green. The brushes we're using today are one-stroke brushes, and we're using a 2-script liner and a 5/8 angle. Now what we're going to do is turn around, practice on the back side of this guide, and we're going to end up painting the finished design right here on our surface. Now, the first thing we're going to do is practice the item that goes on first. Now, with a poppy, sometimes I'll put the stems, but usually I paint the flowers and then decide the stems. So let's start with our flowers first. Now, it's going to tell you right here the actual size stroke that I stroke for you, so you can have that right at home with you. The 5/8 brush is going to show you the loading process here, and it's going to even tell you the apple red and licorice. So I'm going to pick up on the toe. Out here's where you're going to decide where the color is. So if you're using an angle brush and you haven't before, this toe is right here and the hill's here. So I've used a little bit of the licorice in the hill to get some depth and shading here. So on the hill, I'm going to put licorice, and then I'm going to pick up the apple red on the toe, and I'm going to work this in. Now that's way too much licorice, so I'm going to wipe it a little bit, pick up more apple red, and work this apple red in so that we just have a tone of the licorice. All right, so you're going to see if you've got a good color right here by stroking that. Perfect. All right, so this right here is the movement that we're going to make from here to here. So you're going to start here and just have a little bit of a wave in there. And so when I'm doing that, I'm going to come right here and do that side and that petal. And over here you can see that I started using some moon yellow. So I'm going to add some moon yellow. I don't want to be over there in that licorice mix there. So I'm going to pick up the apple red again, moon yellow, and that's just going to give you a pretty tone that's going to give you a little bit of light. Okay? Now, then we're going to come here with that moon yellow on our brush. We're going to come over here and do a little bit of a wave across the bottom here. And here's another way to do this. We chisel, wave, and chisel and slide to fit underneath here. So let's do that stroke first. We're going to start here. We're just going to keep the licorice in the middle, so the heel in the middle. Okay, this isn't difficult, but just listen to what I'm sharing with you and then work on the guide following these steps. Okay? And then you have, look at the pretty colors. I think that looks like a nice version of that poppy. The only thing we have left in the middle here is showing you how to do the center of this. So I'm going to take straight licorice, because lots of times with this brush we use water, but we're not going to use water here. And we're going to pull these little lines just like this down with the full strength of that licorice. Now then I can use the handle of my brush and dot right here in the middle. You can put a little citrus if you want, but I usually just do the yellow. Pick up some more and then come right on top of here. And there's that fun little poppy. So we're going to wipe this off so it doesn't dry on this guide. with a wet wipe or a wet paper towel. Okay, it's multi-surface paint, so it stays really good, which is what you want if you're on different types of surfaces, like glass or metal. There we go, indoor and outdoor. Now what we want to do is move this over here so that we are laying that right here and the guide right here by it so that we remember what we're doing here. Now, I'm going to go back, wipe some of that off so that we're just mostly using the apple red and the licorice first. All right, so just step by step, okay? So we're going to do the back two before we add the moon yellow. So here we go. We're gonna go one. Look how rich those colors are. I don't want that too dark because we're going to put the little stamens in there and they are going to be black, licorice color too. So now I picked up the yellow, the moon yellow, get a nice blend, and then we're going to take and lay that right on here. Okay, so now we're going to go across the front. And that's when I did this little slide here. So let's see how that goes. Now you need to practice that and you'll be ready to go paint it on projects. All right, so we're gonna go right here. And then the last stroke, number 5, goes on top of that. So we're gonna come right in here. Okay. Now I'm just going to come in here with the heel of my brush and kind of fill that in. Aren't those really pretty colors? All right, you can go back and even add more if you want more yellow on here. So let's look at our greenery. All right, so we're going to go in between the citrus and the sap, and whatever you put on the toe is going to be the thing that follows, the color that follows. So I'm going to put citrus there. And I'm going to work this in, pick up more paint, work this in. Now, I'm going to lay this down again, make sure that I don't have water. I got all the water out, and I still see that running out. So that's a little test that makes it easy for you. So we're loading here. This helps you to not have muddy strokes. Now I'm going to come right along here and pull the stems with the chisel, the point there, with the toe. Follow these arrows and it helps you to see this. Now what we have are these little buds, which are just a little bit of citrus, and then we'll put a little bit of moon yellow on it, and that's going to be a bud. All right, now these I'm going to pick up a touch of white because I want to get this little fern here, which is little teeny. Their leaves have some of these really fun little strokes in them. So you see the arrows where you can practice that little bit of white and go right all in there, and there we go. So let's wipe this off. All the instructions are right on there, so when you're at home it's easy to follow. Okay, so now I'm ready with my 5/8 angle, flattened out, clean, fresh paint. And then I'm going to lay this a little bit to the side here. And I'm going to pull out from here, leaning the brush a little bit on the chisel. And the stems sometimes are very loose, okay? And right here, we're going to just put a little bit of a loose stem connecting to that with a Y. And that's where we're going to put the bud. And then we're going to have like a fern-like leaf there and here. All right. So I'm going to put a little citrus for the bud. They have little fuzzy stems too, but we're just going for the effect here and put the yellow. All right. Now I'm going to pick up white on the citrus green corner. Or tip to the brush, sorry. All right, then, so what we're going to do is go 1, 2, 3, and then we make another cluster here. Okay, so now we're going to take this and put our stamens inside, right? And see, I'm going to do the back row and then come and do the front after that. I can pick up a little bit of the apple red and just do a ridge here, which is part of this petal, so that we're staying behind there with our stamens. So licorice, little strokes here. They have a big black background for this little guy. And that black pollen actually can get all over you when you're holding it. The flower there, and then we're going to pick up some more licorice. I had so much fun today sharing how easy it is to paint these flowers. They turned out gorgeous. Remember, practicing on the reusable teaching guides right over my strokes gives you so much painting confidence. Thank you for joining me here in the studio. And remember, we just learned one more of the flowers from the A to Z one-stroke floral painting sets. And I would love for you to take pictures and share them on our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group by hashtagging Let's Paint Challenge. Come on, everybody, let's paint.